Changes to SNAP benefits begin in May. It's going to be harder for individuals without dependents to get food assistance. However, applicants only have until this Sunday to file for an exemption to the new rules. Man Yi with the Greater Chicago Food Depository joins us now. Thank you so much for being here. There are new nuances with these rules, so explain how they're different from what we were used to before.
Yeah, so there are two main dates that we really need people to understand. So first, the date that's coming up is February the 1st. In a few days' time, anyone between the ages of 18 and 64 who do not have a dependent under the age of 14 must now work or volunteer or be studying a minimum of 80 hours a month in order to keep their benefits. Or they need to be able to prove that they qualify for an exemption. Now, what we mean by an exemption is, for example, anyone who has a child under the age of 14 or anyone who's pregnant or anyone who has a disability that prevents them from working. So SNAP participants who cannot prove either of those two things, that they are exempt or that they are unable to meet the work requirements, will only be allowed to get 3 months of benefits over 3 years. And so that's why it becomes really important for them to notify IDHS, the Illinois Department of Human Services, if they are exempt. Otherwise, IDHS will start counting February as one of the first of your 4 months of allowed benefits. So it becomes really important for you to let them know.
How do you apply for an exemption? Is this something you have to do online? Can you call a number? Can you go to an office?
Yes, we've made it really, really simple. We've been working with IDHS to make it really simple for people. So you can go to saveoursnap.org. That's saveoursnap.org. On there is a screener where you can just answer a couple of questions and it will let you know if you are exempt. If you are exempt, then it will provide you with an exemption form that you need to fill out and then send to IDHS. Even though you may be exempt right now, don't assume that IDHS has all of your most updated information. So it becomes really important to fill out that exemption form.
Now, if you don't qualify for the benefits anymore and you don't get an exemption, what are your options?
Then unfortunately, anyone between the ages of 18 and 64 are going to be subject to those work requirements of having to satisfy work, or volunteer or be studying 80 hours a month in order to keep their benefits past May. So May the 1st is the second date that we are warning people on, that February becomes the first month that of those 3 months of allowed benefits, March, April, and then come May the 1st, if you are not able to satisfy those work requirements and you don't have an exemption, unfortunately, you're going to be kicked off the program.
How is the Greater Chicago Food Depository, man, preparing for this? Because I assume you're going to have some additional people you'll need to help out.
Yeah, we are bracing ourselves yet again for another hunger crisis. You know, we saw during the pandemic, and we also saw actually during the recent government shutdown in November, what happens to our SNAP participants when they lose access to that important lifeline. And so we are bracing ourselves because we are expecting a lot of those people, around 200,000 SNAP participants in Illinois, we believe are at risk of losing benefits. They're going to start showing up at our pantries, and we're working as hard as we can to make sure we have enough food at our pantries.
All right, Man Yi with the Greater Chicago Food Depository, let us know what we can do to help as well, because I know Fox 32 has been a good partner with you guys. So please let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support.